A Dolphins update and starter sit for the AFC home games on FFT Express. Adam Azer, Heath Cummings. All right, we just got a report just before going on the air from Ian Rappaport that Devon Achane is going to work out pregame, but there is optimism that he will play even on a short week. So give me the start-sit scenarios for the Dolphins backfield with Mostert out and Achane hopefully trending in the right direction.
If Achane is active, then he is a must-start running back, and Jeff Wilson is a high-end flex, and Jalen Wright is a stash. If Achane is inactive, then Jeff Wilson is an RB2, and Jalen Wright is a boom-bust flex.
Let's go through the 8 games that we talked about on the show earlier today. Chicago at Houston. Give me the starts. Give me the sits.
We are starting C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins. We are also starting DJ Moore. We are probably starting Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. Keenan Allen is a number 3 wide receiver. How'd I do?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Keenan Allen has a heel injury, so if he's out, how much is that going to change DJ Moore?
I probably will just keep DJ Moore. DJ Moore will be a borderline number 1 wide receiver.
Okay, Cincinnati at Kansas City.
I am starting Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, Rashee Rice, and Travis Kelce. I am starting Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is a top 12 quarterback, but a borderline starter. Zach Moss is a flex that I would in full PPR, I'd start Worthy, then Moss, then Chase Brown.
So Joe Burrow, I did not give this stat, but he's played 10 games in his career now with T. Higgins either missing the game or playing fewer than 55% of the snaps. He had a couple of games where it's like 51%, 54%, but around half the snaps or fewer. And in 7 of those 10 games, Joe Burrow scored 19.3 or more fantasy points in 6-point per pass and touchdown leagues. That's pretty good. He scored 22.2 or more in 5 of 10 games, but only in 2 of 10 games has he scored more than 23.9 fantasy points. He doesn't usually have a big game if T. Higgins is not there. And that's why Heath is not ranking him that way. But you are ranking him ahead of Baker Mayfield, which
that is correct. Yes.
Wag my finger at. I don't like that.
I know that you like Baker Mayfield more than Joe Burrow. Yeah. Understandable.
Hopefully T. Higgins gets out there. That'd be great. But he did not practice on Wednesday. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Starts and sits.
Let's start Jerome Ford and Travis Etienne. Let's start Amari Cooper and Christian Kirk. Let's start Evan Engram. Trevor Lawrence is a QB2. I would start him over to Deshaun Watson in that role. Tank Bigsby's a stash. I don't really want to start Brian Thomas, but he's a boom bust flex.
We've already talked about 2 tight ends that have been disappointing in Kelce and I'll wait till we get to the Ravens game, which is right now. Las Vegas at Baltimore. Starts and sits.
Pretty much going to start my Ravens. I'm starting Lamar. I'm starting Henry. I'm starting Andrews. Likely is a low-end starter. Flowers is a low-end wide receiver 3. Pretty much don't want to start any Raiders. Adams is a high-end wide receiver 3. Zamir White is kind of a desperation flex. I'd like to stash Alexander Madison. Brock Bowers is a low-end tight end 1.
And you like Bowers better than likely?
I like Bowers better than likely, and like the only struggling tight end that I would also start Bowers over is Dalton Kincaid. All the others that were terrible, that were top 8 in the beginning of the year, are still ahead of Bowers.
Yeah, so now we've talked about Andrews, we've talked about Kelce, we've talked about Engram. What do you want to see? What are you looking for this week for the tight ends? Like, what would concern you? And
there's a reason that I have not expressed any concern at all about Trey McBride. And that's because his target volume, his route participation, everything looked like an elite tight end. Whether they produce or not, I would like for their involvement in the offense to look like an elite tight end.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about 4 more games. Jets at Tennessee coming up after this. Let's talk about the Jets and the Titans. Any good starts in this game on the Titans side?
No. Tony Pollard is a low-end RB2. Calvin Ridley is a boom-bust wide receiver 3. Tyjae Spears, a desperation flex. DeAndre Hopkins, I agree with you. I'm trying to hold on to him, but no chance I'd start him.
And on the Jets side, we've got the 2 first rounders, and then what else?
The easiest team ever. No, you start Hall, you start Wilson. You don't want to start Rodgers. Allen Lazard is a low end wide receiver 3 or a high end flex.
Seattle is at New England. Who do you like in this game?
Well, Ken Walker if he plays, Zach Charbonnet if he doesn't. I'm starting Ramondre. Yeah, that's pretty much it. DK is the best wide receiver, but he's just a number 3. Lockett's the next best wide receiver, but he's just a flex.
Let me take a look at Metcalf's schedule, because if you missed the show, if you missed the long show, our theory is that Christian Gonzalez is going to start DK Metcalf. It is pretty well documented at this point. DK Metcalf struggles against great cornerbacks. So
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, look,
that is true. I'm not sure that Gonzalez quite fits the profile of somebody that's going to shut him down.
Right. After this, it's Miami, Detroit, the Giants, the Niners, the Falcons, the Bills. His schedule, if he struggles in this game, if you don't have DK Metcalf, you should root very hard against him, and then you should try to buy low, because it's about to get a lot easier. I don't think
he's got Jalen Ramsey next week, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure Ramsey's. I don't know how they're going to deploy him, but whether it's week 3 it begins or after that, it's going to get a lot easier for him going forward. It's my personal opinion. Let's see. We got Pittsburgh at Denver. Who do you like there?
Like is a strong word. There's not a quarterback that I really want to start, but Justin Fields is a high-end QB2. Not a running back that I really want to start, but Najee is a low-end RB2. Not a wide receiver that I want to start, but George Pickens is a boom-bust wide receiver 3. Cortland Sutton's not too far behind him.
See, here's the thing. Like Najee, shouldn't this be a good game for Najee Harris? What did he have? 20 carries last week. Broncos don't have a good run defense. Steelers have, I know it's a road game, but they have a good chance to win. Shouldn't this be a good setup for him?
It should be. I'm not sure. Like, the thing Ken Walker has is even when there's bad rushes, he can break big plays. I'm not sure Najee really possesses that ability. The Steelers' offensive line is still awful, in my opinion. And it's not like we expect the Steelers to score. They literally did not score a touchdown in week 1.
Yeah, it's true. Indianapolis is at Green Bay. Would you start? Who would you confidently start here?
So start Jonathan Taylor, start Anthony Richardson, start Josh Jacobs. I am starting Michael Pittman in full PPR leagues. I don't want to start a Packers wide receiver, but Jaden Reed would be my favorite if I was forced to.
And Colts DST?
Colts DST is absolutely fine.
All right. It's 30 seconds. I'm going to read some questions here. Wan'Dale Robinson or Jalen McMillan?
Wan'Dale.
Stroud or Baker Mayfield?
Stroud.
Worthy or Cooks?
Worthy.
You guys always belittle the Patriots and they always prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Third pick in the draft last year. Absolutely. Fields or Caleb Williams?
Fields.
Drop Thielen for Shaheed or Lazard?
Oh. Drop him for Shaheed.
Yeah. Pick 2 is our last one. Forward, Brian Robinson or Jordan Mason?
I would sit Brian Robinson unless, of course, Christian McCaffrey plays, and then your choice is easy.
Okay, this will be our last one. Reed or Worthy?
Worthy.
Oh, that's the same guy who said, never mind. Okay, later, everybody. Listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow on FFT Express.